So what is the plan, huh? This week we had both, as usual, the way Israel does it, which is a very interesting way of doing it. Independence Day right after our Memorial Day, one right after the other. Switches in the middle of the day, in the evening of the day. And with still 132 hostages inside of Gaza hostage. It's wonder what the plan is with all the problems with Iran and this in the north going crazy and everything else. How is this all going to finish up? What's going to happen? What do you think?
Well, we'll see in this video.
Well, let's talk about it all.
TGR News, broadcasting from the State of Israel.
Welcome back to TGR.
Hello, hello.
Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. It is such an amazing thing to be a part of. Every week we see these people receive the food they need from you, from your support, and the love they feel from you, from your support across the Atlantic, from the other side of the world. And it is just an amazing thing to be a part of, especially like I've said this for the past 7 months, especially at a time like this where, you know, the world is against the nation of Israel. All Israelis feel all the anti-Semitism all over the world. And yet they see that you love them so much that you give them what they need. It is so beautiful to be a part of. And I thank you so much for allowing us to be the ones to be a part of it, to help the people through you. It is just, thank you. And it's a God bless you all. If you haven't yet become a part of this and you want to, there are links below every one of our videos to the Patreon page or to the Support Us page. Or you could just go to the goldenreport.com and go to the Support Us page there and find whichever way is best for you. So thank you so much. While you're down there in the links.
Yeah, and if you want to receive all the news as they happen live.
Yes, there's a link to the Telegram.
There's a link to the Telegram channel that we managed together. But you just be updated just as it goes, as it happens in Israel, with all the important news, and what's even more important, the approved and real
news. What's really happening.
Yeah, after all the fake that's going on around, it's important to stick with what's really going on.
So true, very true. And by the way, all this just being modest hand, we do it together. I think I've done one or two, but she does it all through the day. So thank you so much. Thank you, we appreciate it. Well, let's get started.
Let's do it.
What is the plan? After over 7 months of war with the IDF in Gaza still, and all the work they have done to cripple Hamas, they are still firing. Israel is still under attack from Gaza with rockets coming in daily, while Hizbollah in the north is continuing to be on a constant state of escalation, firing at us and killing our soldiers and civilians. How, if possible, will Israel come out of all of this? Or will we be in a constant state of war from now on? What do you think, Ola? That's a big question. How's Israel going to get out of this? How are we going to stop all this madness?
I don't know. I really don't know. As time goes by, I'm disappointed from our government.
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed. And this is the first. If I blame somebody, first of all, I'm blaming our government first and foremost.
Well, if you got to blame who's in charge.
Yeah, whatever pressure we have from the world, including the Biden administration, still, Bibi has to be stronger, and Bibi has to be bold or be brave, or I don't know how to call it. We have to act. And
believe.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think you're right. I think as is the way our government is handling this situation, well, let's just say the way Bibi's handling this situation, trying to not escalate things too much, taking the Gaza war real slow, not even jumping in all in to the war in the north with Hizbollah, sort of trying to hopefully allow Hizbollah just to stop on their own or something, I guess. I don't think that with those kinds of decisions, we'll find any kind of end to all this madness anytime soon. We need to go in, show them who's boss, like we used to. When I say used to, I'm talking about all the other big wars that Israel's been in, and there's been big ones, much bigger than the one we're in now.
Yeah.
Even if Hezbollah went in all in, it's still not even one of the biggies Israel had to fight in the past. So we just need to go ahead and, like you said, Bibi needs to get brave again.
Yeah.
And just do what needs to be done.
Bibi, it looks like Bibi take the approach of Biden/Obama approach to calm it down. Just let's make everything calm in the Middle East. But it don't work. It just don't work.
It don't work.
That's what Biden trying to do with Iran. That's what Biden trying to do with Hezbollah, with Hamas. It just don't work.
Well, on top of everything else, Israel is having to put up with like all the anti-Semitism around the world. Now, Hague, the International Court in the UN, is now pushing to make a warrant to make Israel stop defending herself in Gaza and allow Hamas to continue to attack us without fighting back. Because that's what Hague is going for. They just don't tell you the truth of what they're actually doing. Because like we already said, Hamas is continually daily to fight and shoot rockets at us. But they just want us to stop. We haven't even talked about the ridiculous motion to make warrants of arrest for the leaders of Israel so that they would be arrested as soon as they have left the state of Israel. Like the prime minister and Gallant, the minister of defense, and all these other officials of Israel. They're just insane. Insane. I don't even know how to talk about that.
As you said, anti-Semitism.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
I mean, the actual UN is actually asking Israel to stop defending herself. Stop fighting Hamas. Let Hamas win. That's an actual motion in the Hague court in the UN.
Yeah, well, UN, I don't consider them. UN is a terror organization.
Yes, but we always know what the UN is and what they will become and everything else. We know that. But what I'm talking about is up until now, they haven't been able to be so bold and to say, we have a motion, we want Israel to lose this war, and we want all the Jews to die. Anyone votes yay, they've never been so bold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
On Tuesday, Hezbollah was able to shoot down one of Israel's small hot air balloons that we used to rise up cameras and other sensitive equipment to spy on our neighbor and see what they are doing. Hezbollah was able to shoot the cable that tied to the ground, allowing it to fly, not allowing it to fly away, just tied it to the ground. And Hezbollah, I think accidentally, if you ask me,
for sure,
shut the cable. Israel says that there was not anything sensitive on this balloon, and Lebanon was not able to get any secret info through that.
Shooting that cable, it allowed the balloon to drift away because it's usually tied to the ground, and they just pull it back down. And it allowed it to drift away and fall inside Lebanon.
Yeah, that's what is the most important thing. It just was free, drifted, and then landed in the...
That was a lucky shot.
Yeah.
And actually, after that, there was another one that shot down now, but they didn't get the cable. They just got, I think, the balloon, right?
Yeah, the balloon.
And it fell down.
Yeah, it's a bigger balloon that gather information. It's located. It's called Tal Shamayim, and it's located in next to the Golani area in a base called Ilania, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So they learn fast and they use it. Actually, yeah.
They also fired more rockets later, or was it drones, at other balloons. It was the furthest they ever sort of attacked Israel up until now, and it was only because they were trying to get more. They saw the success they had by luck one time. They're trying to get more balloons now.
Yeah.
Well, for the first time in over 2 months, Israel has started back in pushing forward and continuing to fight the search out Hamas in Gaza Strip. If you have been receiving our telegram, then you have seen that lately more IDF soldiers have been killed in action. This return to the war in Gaza from Israel has prompted Egypt to threaten us once again that if we don't stop, then our relationships will be in danger. And Qatar is blaming Israel for the lack of the deal with Hamas to get our hostages back, also pushing us to stop continuing to fight in Rafah and all these other places.
Yes, well, we know what Egyptians want or don't want.
Oh, exactly.
They don't want to be exposed.
They don't want to be embarrassed. Exactly.
So we know their motives. Qatar motives is because they left out. Now Egypt, the one who finished in the latest position, Egypt was negotiating for the
Qatar
hostages.
is just evil.
Yeah, Qatar is just evil, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. 100%. Egypt is worried about being embarrassed by being proven and shown the world, seeing that they're the ones who've all this time been, because it couldn't be anyone else but Egypt, has been supplying Hamas the weapons to try to kill Jewish lives in Israel with all these rockets for the past almost 20 years.
Yeah, and 7 last months that we have war, they still continuing to get weapons. How now in the north of Gaza Strip, how they fighting, how they still have RPGs and
weapons. Where's all these
crazy
weapons?
amount?
They do not have. America. We're in trouble sometimes when America don't want to give us weapons, but they seem to have all the weapons in the world to continue to fight.
I think we should use the confiscated weapons from Hamas.
Well, I'm going to get into that. I'll just move on. I know many believers are worried, talking about the weapons we just talked about, are worried about Genesis 12:3, the promise God made to bless thee that bless Israel and curse thee that curse Israel. Seeing how the Biden administration is continuing to curse Israel, you understand what is coming to America. Well, it is important to recognize that the U.S. is still Israel's best friend. Just now, the U.S. sent a very large shipment of weapons. It arrived today in Israel, in spite of Biden's words. On top of that, Israel and officials in the U.S. government are working on now making a weapon supply highway to Israel, bypassing Biden. This is serious, and it's very serious because I know that the believers, you guys. You understand God's promise and seeing the leader of the Biden administration taking a stance against Israel and cursing Israel, you know that a curse is coming to the land. So maybe you're saved because at the end of the day, Israel did receive the weapons they needed from America. America is still Israel's best friend standing beside us, helping us defend ourselves. It's important you guys know that. I don't know how much of that gets out in your news. So I just wanted you to know that we do receive. Just today, we got a huge shipment in spite of Biden's threats that he's not going to give us the weapons.
Yeah. Right after Biden declared that they will his administration will withhold the weapons to Israel, I saw many Republican leaders stand for Israel.
Amen.
And said that's not gonna happen. Biden is really bad news for America.
No. Why would you say such a silly thing?
I know.
Well, it's Israel is in a conundrum, to say the least. There's a lot of ways this thing could go, and it's not really clear which way it's going to go right now. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep you up to date.
Yeah, it looks like just Thursday was a really, really heavy fighting day between Hizbollah and Israel. So it's another escalation and huge one.
Yeah, it's been really escalating in the north. Like we said in this video, the north has drastically escalated recently. And we need to just jump on in on that. That's also, just like Egypt we talked about is pushing us not to go into Rafah as well as the U.S., but because of Egypt don't want to be embarrassed. I think there's something going on in the north because America, for some reason, is pushing us not to go on. I know about the Biden wants to keep everything quiet for the elections and wants to, but there's something else I think that's on top of all of that. Something going on. I don't know what it is.
Biden was honest. He said don't. He just didn't say to whom he said don't.
I forget who he said don't, how many times. I forget.
He said to us don't.
I don't forget who. I've already forgotten who he said don't to, how many times he said don't, and why he said don't, and I don't what. I don't remember none of that. So many don'ts he said.
Yeah.
Well, you got anything you want to add?
That's all. That's all.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know how to... I really do have a lack of words and not able to convey to you how important it is, what you're doing, supporting the people here in the nation of Israel during the time they're experiencing such anti-Semitism. Wow, it is such a beautiful thing. We love you so much for it. And so don't forget to join us from thegoldenreport.com. And until next time,
Shabbat Shalom.
God bless.